what he pretty much asking me is, he says, what are your top 5 suggestions for duty stations? What's up, guys? This is your boy Big Bro Dre, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time coming to my channel, I'm Big Bro Dre, and I give advice that is primarily around military life. So the next question comes from Sunny Side Up 100. Why y'all put numbers at the end of y'all name? Like, comment, and subscribe, or comment in the section why you put numbers in your name. Sunny Side Up 100. All right, but I like that name though. So he says, I can't tell if it's a man or a woman from the picture. But he says, I'm on my second, I think he meant contract. He said contracts. I'm on my second contract, and I'm trying to decide where I need to go for my next duty station. My window opened up for me to move. I got a daughter that lives on the East Coast. All right, I don't really need to know all this. Yeah, so what he pretty much asking me is, he says, what are your top 5 suggestions for duty stations? So this is a real good question, and I probably should do a separate video on this, but I'll go ahead and give you the help right now. So I've been stationed a whole lot of places. I never stayed nowhere longer than 2 years, except recruiting. I stayed there 3 years because that is mandatory. So I'm going to say from 5 to 1, I wouldn't even say no particular order. But my top duty station, one of my top duty stations was Fort Carson. That's in Colorado. I like Fort Carson because Fort Carson had the mountains around it. Denver was there, and everybody. It's just a nice place to live. And to be honest, it just felt like home for me. Like it was my second duty station. I met a lot of people that had a lot of friends there. But it was just a nice place to live. The weather wasn't extremely hot, and it didn't get extremely cold. I think the hottest it got in the summertime might have been like 80. Like some of the houses, like our apartment didn't even have a damn air conditioner because it didn't get hot enough there for you to need one. Like a simple fan, and you leave the windows open, you good to go. So I like Colorado. Fort Jackson, South Carolina, that was a really good duty station for me. Excuse me. I enjoyed Fort Jackson because Fort Jackson had Myrtle Beach was right up the road. I'm from Georgia, so Georgia's right there. Columbia, just where Fort Jackson is a great place to live. It's not bad. Like you got your good places and your bad places everywhere, but just as far as like gas prices, how much stuff costs, the cost of living is real cheap there. I enjoy Fort Jackson. That'll probably be my number 4 pick. Number 3 would probably be Korea. So a lot of people talk a lot of bad about Korea, but man, I enjoyed Korea. Like I had a real good time in Korea. So it wasn't that bad. The crappiest part about it is like being away from your family. But past that, it ain't that bad. You get to travel. You got Thailand right there. You got Laos, Malaysia. You got the Philippines close to that, and it's all cheap. Japan is right there. Japan ain't cheap. But the rest of those are pretty cheap places you can go visit and, see different stuff. And if I would tell you, though, the shittiest part about Korea is when you do get there, they got a real big drinking culture. And it's not the Koreans, it's more like the soldiers got a real big drinking culture in Korea for some reason. So a lot of people drink there. And if you go there and you fall into that trap of becoming an alcoholic, that might mess your whole life up. I ain't saying don't go. What I'm saying is don't go there and become an alcoholic. So, but I did like Korea. Number 2, and I only been here one time, but the time I was there, I was like, man, this is a nice duty station. Fort Sam Houston, that's in San Antonio. So Fort Sam Houston is nice, man, just because of where it is in Texas and how much the base is nice. It almost kind of looked like an Air Force base. And they always say Air Force bases look better than the Army bases. They ain't lying. I've been to a lot of them, and they kind of do. Something about how they live or whatever. But they look better than the Air Force bases. So Sam Houston, San Antonio is a real good place. And this ain't my number 1, but I throw it in the mix. Doggone Fort Lee, Virginia. To be honest, I enjoyed it because maybe it might just because my job is there and most of the people there are logisticians. So when you encounter people at work, they kind of know what's going on. You don't got to explain stuff to people and break it down Barney style for people. So I like Fort Lee. Richmond was nice for the most part. Some of the areas is kind of hood down there, but you'll be all right, man. They know you in the military. If you get robbed, you go somewhere you don't supposed to be. Use common sense when you go anywhere. But I mean, I ain't get robbed there almost one time, but it was a decent place. I would tell you though, near there is DC. I think is 2 hours away, and it's nice up in DC. Virginia Beach is like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away, and Fort Eustis is right up the road. So I would tell you that Fort Lee is probably one of the best places I've been stationed at. There's gonna be other opinions on this, but those are just my opinions of where I've been. So I'm glad I can help you with that one.